I'm really sorry about your loss.
My brother was 85 years old.
We don't live forever.
We don't live forever.
We don't live forever.
We don't live forever.
Yeah,
anyway,
sure.
we don't live forever.
Yep.
Now she want a photo, you already know though. You only live once, that's the motto, nigga,
Yep,
YOLO.
repeat.
You only live
Repeat.
once, that's the motto,
Repeat.
nigga, YOLO. You only live once, that's the motto, nigga, YOLO.
And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's
Crazy
frustrating
world.
to put all your energy into fighting your illness, into doing everything possible to stay as healthy as possible,
Yep.
and to still feel like shit.
Yep.
And to know there's nothing left that you can do to make it better.
What's wrong with you?
Yep.
Kidneys don't work. I need new ones.
Where do you get them from?
Someone has to give me one. Or I'm not gonna live very long.
Scientists are actually now thinking of aging as a disease.
10% of the entire U.S. population, yes, 34 million, are on some sort of disability.
It's called rectangularization of the morbidity curve.
Yeah.
So you want to be like Jack LaLanne, you want to be fit and strong
Yeah.
until you're 96, and then just die in your sleep, right? So that's the goal.
There you go. Welcome back to NutriRebel. Today we're talking about, as you can see, the concept of risk reduction in from health problems, and how many people think that they could simply be YOLO, like Drake says. You only live once, so do all the sinning you want, do all the bad things to your body and to other people as you want. That way you don't have to. You could just commit suicide at the end, or you could just deal with the major medical bills and everything at the end. This is how we're being trained, and this is suicidal society. But anyway, I've had discussions with people like that recently, and they think that they can take all the vaccines that they want, all these concepts that are reductionist in nature. He doesn't even know there's just two branches of science: reductionism and system science. He didn't know that. But anyway, he was appealing to authority and saying, "Well, you don't want to live forever, do you?" I said, "Smokers say that too, but does that mean you should do it?
Sort of meaningless
do
double
they
talk
know
is this?
how the body works? No, they don't. I was asking him, "Can you please explain it?" And he said, "I don't know." So he made himself look like a fool. It's very common these days. Many people just believe whatever they believe.
Choosing death over homelessness.
And then they say they'll commit
That's what one
suicide.
St. Catherine's man is contemplating.
Oh
Tonight on
my.
City News, we
This is
continue to
crazy.
delve into medically assisted dying and how some believe it is their only option to living in poverty.
And would you want to end up
shit.
like this guy,
Primitive shit.
get medically assisted dying and medical assistance and dying? And who says it's painless? Suicide, even when you do the suicide yourself, there's a high failure rate. Doesn't matter what method you use, and it's rarely painless. That's what they tell you, though.
Who isn't? And I feel
It's an industry. They're trying to sell you something, remember?
that employers like yourself, who bring skilled labor.
Yeah, into the country, and cheap labor. We don't produce quality people anymore or quality products. We import everything and everyone. We treat everything and everyone like a commodity.
From
like
other
this
countries.
guy. And I'm not bashing him, but
Why
that's
can't
what he
we look
says.
At
Watch
our
what he
country
says.
and give them
Yeah,
the skills
exactly.
that they need.
With dignity
to
and
build
respect.
real homes.
Yeah.
We just don't have those
Yeah.
bodies.
Right.
Just don't have those
Yeah,
bodies.
repeat.
Just don't have those bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
Just don't have those bodies.
Right.
Yeah, we still have those bodies. And look, a typical construction site, drinking and being toxic masculinity, just not worrying about tomorrow. This becomes the culture. You know it's bad, but you have to smoke because you're around all this toxic.
Almost no
toxicity.
one is talking about is medical costs, including
Yeah,
the
they
fact
don't
that
talk about
10% of
these
the entire U.S. population, yes, 34 million, are on some sort of disability.
Yeah, and do you think the disability is going to be painless? So the guy that I was having discussion with last week says, "Well, how old do you expect to be?" Thinking that he thinks that he doesn't know about. Dr. Bernard spoke about the rectangularization of morbidity curve. He thinks you're just going to die one day. No, most people end up in a disability, a chronic disease, which is a lot of suffering, a lot of medical bills, very expensive. He
And
doesn't know
growing
that.
fast, especially post-vax.
Yeah.
This is my friend
Yep.
Kelsey, and when she
Yep.
was 25, she was involved in a car accident with a drunk driver that left her paralyzed from the waist down. And in the first year of adapting her life to her
Yep.
new level of mobility, she estimates that she spent around $100,000
$100,000
out of pocket. Her health insurance actually denied
Yep.
her first claim
Yep.
for her custom
you
wheelchair,
go.
which was a necessity for
They try to find any reason not to
her
pay out.
independence.
And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's frustrating
You don't want to end up like this woman.
to put all your energy into fighting
Or someone in a wheelchair or on a disability. Like I said, you're not just going to drop
your
dead one day.
illness,
Most
into
people
doing
don't.
everything possible to stay as healthy as possible,
Yeah.
and to still feel like shit.
Yeah.
And to know there's nothing left that you can do to make it better.
Now she want a photo, you already
Let's do
know
this.
though.
YOLO,
You only
who cares?
live once,
Let's
that's
do
the
it.
motto, nigga, YOLO. You only live once, that's
Yep.
the motto, nigga, YOLO.
The patient
Yeah.
here is not one person.
No, the patient is multiple people, because pain doesn't just affect you. The pain affects
so does
the person
suicide, same
suffering,
thing.
but their family, their friends,
Yeah.
like their work, society.
Yeah.
I see pain as a social disease.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons why I'm doing this is because if we can halve the pain of 1 million people, not only do we change those people's pain, those individuals' pains, but we change their family, we change their friends, we change society around them. And that's what I think we have to offer, and I hope we can make larger changes with.
Scientists are actually now thinking of aging as a disease, not getting older, but the phenomena of breakdown and the decline we see and the diseases we see
Aging
as
disease.
Not just a normal consequence of getting older, but as abnormal aging.
In the UK, the total economic cost of sickness absence,
it's huge.
Lost productivity through worklessness, informal caregiving, and health-related productivity losses are estimated to be over 100 billion annually.
Aging as a disease that can be treated and prevented and reversed by understanding the root causes of it. So, for example, if we cured all cancer and heart disease from the face of the planet, we might see 5 to 7 years of life extension. If we address the underlying root causes of all the disease of aging, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, dementia, which, by the way, are driven a lot by sugar and insulin resistance. If we got rid of...
So does that mean you just cut out sugar? No. You have to get an individualized assessment to find out what you need. It's not a guessing game, but too many people are in guessing games, and they try different foods, different supplements, some kind of fad, carnivore. It's a fad because it's not individualized.
The problems with these underlying hallmarks of aging, that we might see a life extension of 30 or 40 years.
I wonder if you could give us some tips for wellness.
Sure. So look, keep in mind, again, with this idea that our goal is to assess an individual's risk, to reduce their risk, to optimize their quality of life, to have them live as long as they can, being functional and not diminishing as they age. So it's called rectangularization of the morbidity curve.
Correct.
So you want to be like Jack LaLanne, you want to be fit and strong until you're 96 and then just die in your sleep.
Yeah, but most people, that's not what happens to them. They end up it's not a flat curve and then it suddenly drops. It's usually a steady decline, and most people it's like the quality of life declines. It's not just dying, you're like suffering your whole life. And I was there, and my family members were there. I know tons of people that are like that. But you talk to somebody, especially a younger person, they don't realize these things. They don't know about statistics and these types of concepts, and they simply think, well, you just take what everyone else is doing and therefore it's okay because everyone else is doing it. That doesn't mean it's right for you. It's not individualized. It's not even for animals. They treat animals better than they do humans because we have to eat them. If the animals were eating junk food, we would get sick, and they would spend much more on maintaining the health of the animals. So they have to keep the animals in tip-top shape. So why don't they do it to us? Because sickness is an industry for humans.
Right? So that's the goal.
It's hard to explain this stuff to people. They get everything mixed up with celebrity influencers and everything. But anyway, the key concepts here are, number one, you likely wrongly think if you get really sick that you can deal with endless medical bills, family and societal breakdown as they come your way. But as you saw in the video, they often decline coverage and insurance premiums. Number two, you will likely think that if it does not work out, that you can simply commit suicide without any pain caused to anyone around you. And most suicides are not painless, and they often fail. Most people are doing everything the wrong way. Even when they're depressed, they're going to do it the wrong way. But anyway, number three, we all need a low-cost or free individualized cell nutritional assessment to find out what our cell, nutritional, and organ imbalances are before anything else. And nutrition is not merely food. That's what everyone thinks. A balanced diet does not exist, and is much more powerful than you think. Remember, it's like how a botanist would care for a plant. We don't get that from the medical doctor. Generalized advice is not what a botanist does. They give it individualized assessments. Anyway, number four, simply guessing or do-it-yourself mindset will usually lead to severe disappointment. Number five, nutrition is not merely food. Like we said, it's the individualized study of what our body needs and does not. Number six, the rectangularization of morbidity curve, like Dr. Bernard said, is trying to mitigate the health problems to live a longer, healthier life rather than a life full of suffering, which most people do, which most people occurs to them. Number seven, the risk of suffering from health problems increases exponentially with each year of life that it passes. Number eight is supposed to be, number six supposed to be number eight. Modern medicine is mainly acute based when you get sick. Think about it. 10-minute office visit, emergency room. How else do you measure your health? Most people don't measure their health, their entire bodily function. They don't do that. I do that. And you can check out my free symptom measure tool at the bottom left there. Number eight is you can obtain a basic cost cell nutritional and organ function assessment at NutriRebel.com to see how the process works. And I'm trying to help people because I was already there. There's so many confused people, and I have to eat somehow. Hey, I'm a practitioner now. But this stuff, it can't be done by computer. Blood tests is limited to what it tests. There's a bunch of factors, details you have to read about. You can check it out on my website. But if you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe.